Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Money League. Guys, we have to start with the big news. Of course, everyone's talking about it. J.J. Watt is buying Burnley. He's not buying Burnley. He's becoming a minority owner, Burnley, they're getting promoted to the Premier League next season. I think it's perfect timing. I think J.J. Watt is going to get like all the publicity, and his wife is a soccer player. That's great news. That's amazing news. And so many former athletes are starting to invest in soccer clubs. And I think it all started with LeBron, right? LeBron invested in Liverpool, and slowly a lot of people are getting into it. Guys, what are your thoughts on former athletes buying the actual football clubs and not the NFL clubs?
It's a good
I think
blend. It's a good blend because you've got the businessmen who know how to, or businesswomen, men or women,
Yeah.
know how to run a million to $1 billion organization, and then you've got a touch of sports experience, to not only promote the celebrity of it all, but also just to help with management and making decisions. I think sometimes when they're minority owners, they might not be doing much except for putting in a couple bucks and being a bit of a
Yeah.
celebrity face. But you know what? They put their cash there. I'm sure they have some sort of say.
Yep. And I think Ryan Reynolds like made it more flashy, especially the last 6 months or so. Like he's all over the news. He's like taking them to pubs and random things here and there. I think it's kind of enticing a lot of former athletes to invest in English clubs.
and I think LeBron actually he made it as soon as he made that minority purchase.
They
He
won, right?
yeah, they won the league that year. He injected that winning mentality into Liverpool. And they just went off and they won the thing. So yeah, media impact, minority owner or not.
Yep. Well, of course, guys, we need to talk about a lot of things happening in the EPL, and of course, the injuries. Like we don't have a lot of injuries this week, but there is like a handful of injuries which have implications for international games. So let's get started with some of the main matches we saw this past weekend and go from there. I don't know if you guys watched the Liverpool Tottenham game. Amazing game. The first
Howler.
18 minutes,
Absolute
yeah,
banger.
right. First 18 minutes, Liverpool go 3-0, and everyone thought like that's it. Tottenham's done, and boom, they come back. Richarlison is like removing his shirt, celebrating 3-3, whatever. Boom, straight punch, 4-3 Liverpool winning. That was like one of the best games I've seen in recent.
A Richarlison sighting. Wow.
Yeah, I know. So Harjas, I know you didn't watch the game. Milty, did you enjoy that game?
Yeah, it was an absolute howler, a complete banger of a match because, like you said, everybody had them done, and then the stars stepped up. Harry Kane in the 40th minute, Son himself.
Yeah.
In the 77th minute, Richarlison actually in the third minute of extra time, 90 plus third minute of extra time. But we all are talking about that game winner a minute later by Diogo Jota in the 90 plus fourth minute, and then that sealed it. That came down to the wire. That is football at its finest.
Okay, so Harjas, we're gonna come to you about this Jota guy. Like, I know he scored the winner goal, but dude has some injury. Looks like, as per Milsey's report, he has like back spasm and bruised ribs, and he's doubtful against Fulham this weekend. What are your thoughts on that? And is that like a 1 week thing, or what are we looking at out here?
That one's tough to gauge. I think anyone who's had bad back spasms can tell you sometimes it's just all of a sudden right before the match and they can't participate. I think we sometimes hear about that with MLB pitchers. All of a sudden they have spasms, they get pulled from the start. So we'll see. And then in terms of the bruised ribs, mostly a pain management issue. Nothing really else that you can do. Give him a little bit of time to heal. Been a tough season for him to stay healthy. He had the calf strain, which kept him out of the World Cup. So nice to see him back out there and playing well. But hopefully this doesn't keep him sidelined for too long as Liverpool tries to overcome what I'm saying and try to squeak into the top. Well, I don't know about top 4, maybe top 5.
Looks like so Liverpool right now are 56 points with a game in hand and 2 points ahead of Tottenham at number 5. Looks like they're going to finish top 5. I think it's going to be, I don't know, again, 5 to 6 games left for most clubs. Anything could happen. So again, top 4 looks like Newcastle and Man United are kind of like creeping. There's a possibility both teams can finish top 4, but you never know. United drew against Tottenham this past week and then came back and barely beat Aston Villa. Literally barely beat Aston Villa. And that was like a lucky goal. Rashford like shoots like a 50-50 ball from end of the box and then ricochets and goes to Bruno Fernandes. So I don't know. United 7 points ahead of Liverpool with game in hand. I'm feeling pretty confident, but again, is that like, yeah. Well, Milty, I know your third team or the fourth team. Newcastle has looks like at least a top 5 is sure shot right now.
Yeah.
How are you guys looking out there?
Yeah, Newcastle is pretty much. I think I don't want to say solidified, but they pretty much are. They maybe be locked into that third spot. I think they're third on the table. I think they're third on the table right now because they just bullied a completely hapless Southampton team. They didn't know what they were doing. They did whatever they want to on there. So yeah, I think Newcastle is pretty much they're locked into the top 5 spot, and it's really good. It's really good, and they're still doing it without Emil Croft and with that knee injury, some other key pieces as well too. Also Maxim as well too. So that's really interesting.
Yep. And looks like it's a 2-horse race. I would say mostly like a 1-horse race. I don't think Arsenal can catch up to City. Looking at the schedule right now, Arsenal have 4 games in hand. They play Newcastle this weekend. That's going to be a tough game. Brighton next week. That's not an easy game either. And then Nottingham Forest and Wolves. So maybe like 2 to 3 wins out there, but I think I can see a draw coming out. And for Man City, dude, Man City is, oh my God, cupcake of a schedule right here. West Ham. Yeah, dude, you guys play West Ham, Leeds United, Everton, Chelsea, Brighton, and Brentford. Harges, this is like everyone can claim Man City has won the title. No chance Arsenal's going to win this one.
The only thing is that there's some big injury in the Champions League, or they're resting, or like just disinterested because of their 2 upcoming Champions League matches.
Yeah, but
it's really good, and
that's it. Otherwise, they're set.
Yeah,
they're absolutely set. Yeah,
but we needed Chelsea to do their job today and beat Arsenal. But they just look. Thing. What? Letting Odegaard get? I think Odegaard had a brace. Letting Odegaard get a brace today, and I'm going like, oh my God, man! Okay. But it's good that we're getting. It's good that Kevin De Bruyne and Nathan Ake are going to be they're going to be examined before tomorrow's match against West Ham, and it's looking pretty good. They were saying Nathan Ake had a thigh muscular strain. It was actually a hamstring strain. So and it was like grade 1. It was grade 1. So they're going to be examined, and hopefully they'll be able to go because we need them.
And Mills, what happened to Kevin De Bruyne? And is it anything related to his injury history?
Yeah, because it was kind of weird because they said it was just a niggle. Is it just a niggle? I mean, you're going to hear a lot of these words around this thing. You'll hear niggle, you'll hear knock, you'll hear mainly it's a muscular injury, mainly soft tissue, anywhere like that. And like Kevin De Bruyne has a really long history. Just last year he had an orbital fracture that kept him out. Said that kept him out a few games.
Orbital fracture. One sec, notes. Harjus, what's an orbital fracture? Sorry.
It's the bone around the eye in the plainest of sense. Remember he wore the Zorro mask when he was playing in the
Euro? Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Said yes. It's like these bones, like this bone, these bones right here are like what you call the orbital bones right here. Also he had an ankle injury that held him out for 40 days. Just 2021, he was injured all season. He had that facial fracture, then he had ankle injury. He caught corona. He had the COVID-19, unfortunately, and he's been ill for the past couple of games. But then he got this muscular injury that has been that people were doubting him to play against West Ham. But hopefully this examination will go well. And like he's just been really banged up the last 2 seasons.
He's going to play, right? They have to play against the Champions League. Like it's not going to stop him from playing.
I think he's playing.
Okay. Well, I take your word.
I don't think you can doubt his fitness either. I would expect the same Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. Sweet. And of course, guys, when Lampard was appointed, I was not happy about it. In 6 losses, back to back to back. And they're trying so bad to be in relegation, but they cannot be relegated. Impossible for them to get relegated. They have like 4 games in hand, and they cannot lose. Even if they lose all 4 games, like it's just tough for them to like get relegated. I don't know what they're trying to do. I think they're doing it on purpose, but oh my God, they look pathetic on the field. But they have Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Man City, Man United, and Newcastle United. I can see 3 losses right there.
Mm-hmm. The latter 3 are L's.
Oh my!
Match. Yeah, they can't wait for the season end. Like every player has got that private jet booked for like 4 minutes after their last match ends. Like they're gonna helicopter on the field type of situation to get out of there.
Right? I think they're ready to get done with the season and move to the next. And it looks like they're going to spend another $500 million coming up this offseason. I don't know. No Europa League, no Champions League. It'll be tough. And okay, nothing against Chelsea, but Chelsea are not Man United. When we were not playing in Europe, we could still attract players to United. I don't know if Chelsea can do it. Maybe I'm wrong. So maybe some of the fans are probably going to be like, this idiot doesn't know anything. So
Yeah, I don't think they'll struggle too much to attract players. They'll offer good salaries, right?
yeah, that is true.
Yep,
That is true. Okay, guys, there was, what is this? A lot of manager sacking, of course. Big Sam is back in the picture. He's been appointed as the new Leeds United manager. I
Like
just
what?
don't.
4 matches left? We're like what?
Yeah.
4 matches left?
Guys, I absolutely don't get it. How do these guys what to say? Big Sam, Roy Hudson, David Moyes. How do these managers keep getting jobs? Dude, they've not done anything.
Even though Moyes is considered a failure because of how his tenure at Man U went, I think he has the 3rd or 4th most Premier League wins all time.
Okay, recent history. Take the last 15 years. You cannot go back to the 90s and 80s to like take their wins. He was really good with Everton.
I don't think David Moyes has been that bad.
Okay, what about Roy Hudson?
Anyway, I get what you're saying. You know what? Yeah. It's every sport, though. It is literally every sport. Everyone knows fantasy doctors. We're all over football all the time. How many bombs do we see? How long was Jeff Fisher in the National Football League? Yeah. No, honestly, like how many times are we going to see a Van Gundy try to lead a team in the NBA? Okay,
Jason Garrett for 8 years.
That's the way it is. People don't know how. Like people don't understand how to evaluate coaching because no one's on the inside. So people's personalities and bravado and ego and background history will always carry them through to another job when a club is desperate. I love Mourinho. I think Mourinho is a great manager and I think he knows it well, but the game is slowly passing him by, but he will keep getting jobs at big clubs.
100%, but he keeps winning. He won with Roma. He won with United. Granted, like he didn't win the big one.
Is Roma a Europa Conference League club? Do you know what I mean? Like they were also in the Champions League semis like 5 years ago. You know.
I get that. But again, this year they can win the Europa League. So again, they're slowly coming up. Mourinho is good, but you're right. Like I saw a stat like Pep Guardiola has won like pretty much like every top cup needed, and the one major cup he's lost was against Mourinho or something like that. I'm like. Yeah, but Pep has won 9. Like he's like top 3 all-time coaches right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Carlo Ancelotti, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson, like, and Pep. I think it's up there. I think Pep is gonna like shatter all the records. Like literally.
Not put Jurgen up there?
That might be a separate podcast. I think Pep's overrated.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Overrated. Overrated. Right there.
We've lost
you give me that much money, I'll also look good. Overrated.
Come on, man.
They get that money to Mourinho. He didn't do jack.
Wasn't at Man City. Okay, Pep goes to a Bayern Munich team that wins a treble. He does not win Champions League again. And I think he won maybe 1 double. I could be wrong about the German Cup. Of course, he kept winning Bundesligas, but everyone kept winning Bundesligas there. So as far as I'm concerned, he did nothing special at Bayern. He comes to Man City. Every manager before him won the EPL. He just did the same. Where has he actually caused any sort of improvement? In that, sure, they make maybe a little bit more of a run in Europe, but I think Pep is so overrated. He's got access to the wealthiest teams. He walks into teams that are already good, and he doesn't elevate them to another level. Overrated.
But you know what? That might change if they win the Champions League this year. So let's see.
I'm not saying like he's garbage. I'm just saying he's overrated.
Okay.
He's not top 3 all time. He's not top 3 in the world right now.
Okay. He's definitely top 3 right now.
Pep is definitely top 3. Come on, dude.
No, maybe not in the history, but
I ain't giving it to him. You can call me a hater. I'm not giving it to him. I'm not giving it to him.
Wow.
Okay, that's okay.
I mean, for all the first-time listeners, I'm a Madrid fan, so I mean, I'll let them speak.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Right there.
I'll not put a top 3.
Guys, this is a great show. I think we touched upon all the main topics. Another 4 to 5 weeks left, and of course, the transfer market's going to hit. And we'll start talking about all the transfer and all the money stuff involved in this league coming up in a couple of weeks. But that's it for today. Thanks a lot, Mills. Thanks a lot, Arjus. Guys, again, let us know. Is Pep overrated? Just throw stuff at Arjus. Let's get it.
Do not listen to Doc. Do not.